listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Bachelor Pad After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Bachelor Pad After Show.
Bing. B.
3 I N
G.
Bing.
All right, guys, we all know that Bing is for doing, and we are doing another after show on AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm JC, and this is Bachelor Pad Season 3, Episode 6. Wow, we're getting there. We're finally, for the love of money. What's going to happen, guys? We all want to know, and we're
for the
sure.
love or money.
There we go. All right, guys. Now, tonight we're going to talk about misspelling bee, a trip into the wine country, and island getaways. But before we go any further, let us introduce our Bachelor experts, starting with the lovely lady to my right.
Canden Bliss here.
And across the table.
Hi, I'm Cathy Kelley.
Hey guys, Krisily.
All right, ladies. So, how are we doing? What did we think? But before we go any further, actually,
And you're JC Rubio.
yeah,
You didn't say that.
I said it. When
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I mean,
like, who doesn't know?
I snuck it in there.
Oh, okay.
I snuck it.
It was too quick.
But you know what? Let's actually tip our cap to the girl running the ones and twos. To Marissa, the wonderful engineer. Let's do a little shout out, guys, because these shows can be made possible without the people in the back. So what is up, Marissa?
Absolutely.
Hey guys, thank you, JC.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. So what'd you guys think about the show tonight? Overview, thoughts. Don't hold back. I'm gonna save you for a second. Canden, what'd you think? Be honest.
Nothing too out of the ordinary for me.
No?
Not really.
Not feeling any romances developing, little...
I mean,
The
I'm sorry.
noose
I
getting
just feel
tighter.
really like I just think Jacqueline needs to grow a backbone. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll talk about the little, in our romance showmance portion of the show. But Cathy, what'd you think?
I thought that it was a little bit anticlimactic just because of the way that, the dates were. Wasn't that a big
I would
word?
not have been able to
And
spell that, thank you.
I can spell that one too, unlike some of the people who are on Bachelor Pad 3. But I thought that it was anticlimactic because of just the way that the roses were given out this week. And I kind of had a feeling who would go home. So
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something, maybe it's because they shifted into couples now, so it changes the whole dynamic instead of voting each guy and each girl off. But I don't know, just something was missing from tonight. I think we needed a little more backstabbing, perhaps. Because honestly, even what happened to Kaylin and Lindsay seemed a little, coining your word,
Kaylin,
anticlimactic.
Yeah, I mean, for Kaylin, for that to be like the way he goes out, I don't know. It's very odd.
Yeah.
It didn't quite fit. It was like,
Yeah.
is that really him? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder what. Krisily, you're itching to get in. I don't even need to look at you. I know.
I'm waiting my turn.
Oh wow.
I'm a big girl.
I'm a big kid now. What'd you think?
I thought it was a snooze fest. I mean, she uses big words. That's fine. I can't spell most of them, which anybody that follows me on Twitter knows. But it was a snooze fest. There was nothing exciting this week. There was the spelling bee dragged on forever. It was boring.
Is that a thing with Bachelor? Do you have to be a horrible speller to get on Bachelor, perhaps?
Can I tell you that tonight, thank you, producers, because you've now made me feel like not such a bad speller, because I could even spell some of the words that they failed on. But I mean, I can't spell, so I can't even make fun of anyone, but it was brutal.
Well, let's defend them. Actually, let's defend them for a second, because now they're on the stage as well, and in the heat of competition.
Well, and it's that weird. It was a weird way to go about it. To have to shout out one letter at a time and have your partner say the other one. It's almost like your brain is not. It's like the letter that you say is going in one ear and out the other one, and then you're like, wait,
we
where
screwed
are
up Bing. Come
yeah,
on.
I mean, come
Thanks,
on.
Krisily.
I was thinking the entire time how to, do well in that competition, and I feel like you would have to say the letter as your like in your head as your partner was saying it. So even though you're not saying it, you're not getting screwed up by the other person saying it, and you're not saying them.
Instead of overreaching. Like, I think some people are trying to think too far ahead to, like, okay, what's my next letter? And they're not paying attention to what's going on in front of them.
It's clear that happened a couple times where they lost track of what letter they were on, like where they were in the word.
Would have helped to have, like, Wheel of Fortune, like where you put the letter up.
Yeah.
You could see Chris was really like focusing on the letters as Sarah was giving them out. You could see him just like mapping out each word, but.
That's what I would do. I'm very visual.
And I was surprised that Ed and Jacqueline were doing so well. I mean, they almost made it to the finals without missing a word, and then the wheels fell off the wagon and they just crashed and burned.
They were some hard words. Like, I mean, serendipity was an easy word.
That was easy.
But the 3 or 4 words before that, I mean, I know we were sitting there and we're like
lascivious,
lascivious.
I don't know.
I mean, they're big words that a lot of people didn't even know the definition of, let alone how to spell it.
They should have given like Ed and Jacqueline like Bukowski, like Chris's last name, or like they're because
B, period.
Yeah, leave it at that.
But they actually didn't, like most spelling bees, you're allowed to ask the people, the judges or whatever, can you use that in a sentence, please? And like, can you repeat, like you're supposed to be able to ask other questions, and they didn't have the standard rules.
Maybe they cut it out. You never know.
Maybe.
But that.
I mean, if you can't spell, you can't spell. Yeah. It doesn't matter how it's used in a sentence or how pretty it looks. Like, if you can't spell it, you can't spell it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think that they didn't need any help.
We're going to get you a dictionary, Krisily, because I see the pain in your eyes.
I autocorrect on my phone and I still screw up. Like, it's
Entrepreneur, though, like, you should be able to
I like how
spell
they
that.
kept cutting to Kaylin during that word.
So no surprise that actually, of course, the couple that wins everything won again, Chris and Sarah.
They're on a roll.
Yeah, but they're smug about it.
Yeah.
And I just kind of, it's starting to rub me the wrong way a little bit. Just.
It seems like it's rubbing a lot of cast members the wrong way, and I feel like a lot of the guys are and girls obviously are turning against Chris. They think that he's like, the bad guy in the house, and I feel like they kind of, Sarah and Chris need to keep winning these competitions because otherwise people are going to vote them out.
I think they know that, and that's why they're kind of on fire. But there's just nothing about them that makes me want to watch them on the show. Yeah.
They're the only ones that bring the drama.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. If Chris wasn't there, there would be
know.
no cat fights. There would be no, like, skeevy, I don't know.
Who would be the puppet master instead? I know Stag was, but really, in essence, it's been Chris.
I just don't like them.
I think that they've played the game better than any couple in the history of Bachelor Pad. We've seen them change the game. We've seen them change the rules. We've seen them change almost everything.
Right.
So I don't necessarily know that the smugness is coming from like a bad place. I just think that they know that they, like Sarah said it tonight, they're playing the game and bringing something different than that's ever been brought before.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're my favorite to watch. I also really like that you see a total different side of him when he's playing the game and in the house and around everybody else than you do with her. When he's with her, you see the real Chris, and I like that. I like that he's showing both sides now.
All right, well then let's jump into their date actually, because they ended up winning, and then Ed and Jacqueline finished second. Good try, Ed. Ed, I'm pulling for you. You're gonna win one.
He's so fun.
I'm so team Ed. I love it. Okay, but before we get into the first date, I also got to say hi to everyone who's watching us on AfterBuzzTV.com. Chat roll, guys. What's up? And nice there, Canden. Cute. Now,
Last week it was.
She was the gunslinger. There we go. But if you're not watching us on AfterBuzz, make sure to subscribe on iTunes. Make sure you send us your comments. Let us know you care, because we actually do read the comments, and it actually helps propel our shows. Because we put out about 40 shows a week. Fall shows are coming up. We've got X Factor coming up. We've got Sons of Anarchy coming out. We've got Married to Jonas, which is a great
Already
show.
out.
Yes.
Hey.
And which is Honey Boo Boo?
Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, no.
Here comes Honey Boo Boo.
Here comes Honey Boo Boo. We give you all this entertainment, guys, for countless of hours of infotainment. But all we ask is for you to comment and subscribe. So thanks, guys. Let's get into those dates. Wow.
That was really exciting.
I'm excited. Well,
Way to be a good host, JC.
Well, we got to jazz it up, because like that first date.
Jazzy.
Okay.
I loved they took kind of their action adventure date and brought it to this date, because Sarah had this crazy, change, secret agent type change, where she just unzipped her dress and all of a sudden she was in a bikini. So
I always wear my bikinis under my dresses.
Is there a clause, a bachelor clause, that you have to wear your bikinis underneath your clothes at all times?
No.
They should
Told
put
you
that
that's
in
only
there.
for Donna.
Oh.
That's only for Donna? Mm-hmm. God bless Elon and all the flights.
I
guys.
mean,
Thank
maybe
you.
they said to the house who make sure you all have your bathing suits on for whoever won. Maybe they said it for that challenge.
Okay, shoe blogger. Okay.
Yeah.
Why was she walking in that dirt field with them
poor
shoes?
Thing. She couldn't walk in those shoes. I love you, Sarah, but I don't know what happened. She could not walk in those shoes.
It ain't her fault.
I think it was uneven surface.
Yeah, but then
should've
she
taken
wore them
them
again
off.
for dinner, and I was like, those are not good shoes for you.
See, I
She
think
should
we're
take
kind of.
them off.
Thank you. That's the point. I'm like, why did she walk into the field with those probably pretty expensive shoes? She could have had some flip flops or some, I don't know.
If you brought your bikini, you probably brought your flip flops.
Yes. Gonna ruin a beautiful pair of shoes.
You're not. When you leave for challenges, you don't have a second to go back in the house. Like if you forget your lip gloss, you don't have lip gloss for the day. So she probably didn't have anything with her, and they probably told everybody in the morning, everybody put your bathing suits on underneath what you're going to wear today.
Okay.
Because whoever wins is going to need them. Do you know what I mean? So they probably all had them. But yeah, she didn't have flip flops.
So what did we
It
get
was
out of the date? Okay, aside from the shoes and the bikini, did you guys see sparks? Do you see sparks with them?
No.
Chris said it amazingly in one of his interviews. He said, I'm still getting over Emily, and I don't know how strong of feelings he had for Emily. It seems like, according to him, they were, he was in love with her. But then Sarah said, you haven't had a relationship since sophomore year of high school. So it doesn't really, I feel like he's not the relationship type of guy.
I don't buy it.
Let's break Chris down a little bit. And I don't know the guy, but just he always has kind of something. There's a lot there with him.
I don't buy this Emily thing. I don't buy the whole Emily story. Like I don't.
That he was in love with her? Or?
No, I just don't. I don't understand why it's relevant right now. I do not see it affecting his
Because
life
it was
at
3
this
weeks.
moment.
It was 3 weeks after filming. I mean, he's probably been at Bachelor Pad for two and a half weeks now, and he went straight from getting kicked off of Emily's season to Bachelor Pad. So those feelings are very relevant. I mean, it's probably been less than 2 months. It was probably like a month since he had last seen Emily and got his heart broken on national television. Every single guy who seems to meet Emily falls in love with her. So, someone who's had that much time to spend with her was head over heels.
And he was caught off guard when he got sent home. And not only that, but also he probably only had time to go home to his family and friends for maybe 3 days in between both. So I feel like that's the time that you really get to figure out where your head is at and if you're really in it. And I don't think that he had that time.
Yeah. I think he's also a very confident guy, and I feel like although he did get his heart broken, he also got a huge blow to his ego because he was, dumped on national television.
I think that's the biggest part of it. That's the only reason I would buy him being any sort of emotional right now about the Emily thing is just because of the ego. And that's why he's had such a huge ego on this show. I
mean, also on this show, he's had 3 girls throw themselves at him. Right. So obviously he's going to have a big ego. He thinks he's the hottest guy in the house.
I mean, he kind of is. I mean, he's not my type, but he's definitely, out of the guys in the house, I think he's the best. I don't have a type that's in that house.
No, I was going to ask the girls, actually. Who's your favorite guy in the house? Canden.
Do I have to even have one?
What? Chris Harrison?
No. Honestly, until tonight, I thought that I was gonna like Nick because he was low key, but I don't like him after tonight.
What you're trying to say? Okay.
Yeah.
Kathy, any?
No, I thought there were a couple guys in the house.
Ari's not in the house. I know.
I mean, I like Tony now, honestly. I think.
Okay.
He's not for me, but just in general, he's a real guy, and I can see he's very sensitive, and I believe him.
See, that's why I brought it up because it's interesting. If we started the show, who you liked and who you didn't, and now what it's evolving to. It's cool how
Well, we didn't know Tony. I mean, all we knew of Tony was oh, I'm gonna cry. That's all we knew, and he didn't really have conversations with us as an audience until now. Through Blakely.
Okay, so sensitive guys. So we're calling it right now. So it's not really sparks between. It's for the show, perhaps. So it's like summer camp romance, perhaps.
Showmance.
Yeah, I think that you're confined in the walls, and you definitely find that one person in the house that you trust, and you, of course, are going to have some sort of relationship with them. Do I see them dating forever? I don't think so. I think they both live in separate places. They're both mature adults. I think they had fun while it lasted, but I don't know that necessarily they'll continue to be together. But I think the nice thing about them is that he's able to show his real self when he's with her. And I think that's really important because there's a lot of Chris haters out there because of the way that he's playing the game. And he didn't play the game any differently than Dave Good or Natalie Getz did. It's just he's done it a little bit more towards women. And I feel like the wonderful thing about him and Sarah finally getting together is that we're able to see him really kind of be a man and be nice and be sweet and show that the Chris that I met and that I am friends with is the coolest, nicest guy in the world who is so supportive of the people that are real and true in his life. And I think that's something that's really important because you don't get that in this game.
Yeah. I think that this is the first time we're seeing him sincere with a girl this entire game. And it's nice to see. And I don't know.
Is she gonna fall too much?
I think that that she actually is more into him at this point than he is into her.
Definitely.
And it seemed like there were a couple questions that I know when I'm into a guy, I ask those questions and she said, "Are you over Emily?" Like she's asking, "Are you over that last girl?" And he was just kind of like, I don't really know.
I don't agree. I know Sarah, and I think that Sarah knows what she's doing, and they're playing a great game together.
I was going to say seems like a little bit more mature in the fact that the reason she asked Chris those questions was to gauge where do I go with where I go with this. So okay, he hasn't gotten over it. Fine, I'll have fun with him.
Yeah.
And go from there. So maybe the producers would help us out with the second date, because have you noticed it seemed like with Ed and Jacqueline, we're transitioning into the second date. I'm sorry, I just want to get in there.
Go for it.
Do you think they're really pushing it with them because they want something to happen? That's why they fly them they fly them on the little private jet. I mean, not the private jet, the little like, what is that? Like a little Cessna or something?
I didn't understand. I thought maybe there should.
The girls are sorry,
We're
guys.
sorry. We're gonna share waters because there's a bug.
There's
in
a
mine.
bug.
And I think the heat's on in the studio tonight, so I'm having a little hot flash. And I went to drink my water, and the Cessna that you were talking about had landed in my cup. So
Here.
It might still be Sam from True Blood from after.
I'm so excited. Is it Luna?
He could be in the cup. He could be in the cup. If you guys if you watch our shows, you tune into the True Blood finale. It'll explain
to
everything.
Ed and Jackie.
But let's back to Ed and Jackie.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall on that date.
Oh,
How about that? That's a good transition.
Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, so do you think they're really like just throwing everything at them to see if something can happen?
I feel so bad for Jacqueline. I just want her to have a backbone and stop rolling over and playing dead this whole time. It's really embarrassing, and she's embarrassing herself more and more every week.
I'm sitting away from you, Canden, because wow, really?
I'm serious. Like, if a guy is sitting there telling you basically, like, I just want to sleep with you, and she's like, well, I have feelings for you, then okay, I'll sleep with you. Like, but then I'm gonna be upset about it, and I'm gonna cry. Like, I don't understand that philosophy. If she was like, yeah, let's just have fun, fine. But the fact that she allows herself to be a victim and then victimizes herself even more, I don't agree with.
She made it sound like it wasn't the first time it's happened to her. It's
so then do something different.
I was going to say really quickly, but could that explain why she's so snippy in her attitude in general? Like what we saw in the beginning of the show, what we've seen in Bachelor.
She's bitter.
Well, I think she comes across as this very strong girl, which is amazing. But when it comes to a guy that she likes, I feel like she will do whatever she can to make it work. And that's where you're seeing where she's kind of like losing her backbone. I wouldn't go that far to say that, but I feel like, she's making excuses for him. But at the same time, she had no idea that Ed was seeing another girl up until he went on the show. So she was falling for a guy thinking that he was available.
But she still slept with him in the overnight date. Like, even after he told her there's another woman.
Allegedly.
Because, But he said, when he defined their relationship, he said, I think of you as a friend, but you're my closest ally. I'm loyal to you, I can trust you, which is a huge thing. And when we're, sleeping together, when we're in that same bed, we're a couple.
He also said that sleeping together solidified their trust in each other, which I think is bizarre.
That's because you've never lived the Bachelor Pad. Like I can understand why they say these things. Like if you have never been in that situation, like you can't even begin to understand the conversations and the complexity to what's happening in the house. You just can't. And I feel like she did not know where he stood until he kind of said that at the rose ceremony, and now she's kind of trying to figure out what's the best way to go now, because they can't split up. They're a couple. They have no choice.
Right.
So they either figure it out or they don't. I do see that Jacqueline kind of needs to man up a little bit, because when somebody tells you how they feel, it's how they feel, and you can't really, I mean, you can try to change their mind, but then you're being a super girl about it, because you're not gonna. So I think she does need to man up a little bit, but I also think that he's been nothing but honest with her. She didn't ask questions that maybe she should have, but without being in that situation, like, you find that one person that you can hang on to, and that's what keeps you in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because honestly, it doesn't also have to be all about sex, because I know Jacqueline's sleeping with him, but he said
They
something
talk about it a lot.
Yeah, but they're not necessarily having sex just because they're sleeping in the same bed together. There were many people in our house that slept in the same bed together out of comfort, you are not. There's nothing comfortable about the Bachelor Pad. Like, you don't trust anybody. And if you can find comfort in somebody else, and that means you get a night's sleep that we don't get in that house, then you're going to do it. So just because they're saying they're sleeping together, it doesn't necessarily mean sex.
But they keep saying, I wouldn't have done these things with you if I had known X, Y, and Z.
yeah,
so I think they definitely make it clear that they are actually having sex.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. It could have just been that she hooked up with him or made out with him. Like, we don't know what happened when those covers went on. Yes, maybe they could have had sex, maybe not. But I feel like she pursued him, and that's what she was regretting. Right. She wished she hadn't come on so strong, or she wished she, hadn't had a crush on him at all. Like, if you knew someone was in a relationship or still had feelings for someone, you might not pursue them.
Right. Or you're going to take the same attitude that he has and think of it as, this is summer, I'm going to have fun. If we make out, we do. And if we don't, we don't. But I'm not going to let my feelings get involved. And I think that's what she's regretting, is the feelings.
And see, to defend your point also is, she could have created a consequence, not so much because of this implied sex, but let's say the companionship, the trust that she gives him. She could have pressured him on that a little bit, I think. You know what I'm saying? Is create consequences. You want to trust, I need more. And sure, then he could lie, and I mean, that's what happens in Bachelor Pad, but at least just to give you, a point to what you just said.
Smells like dog food.
It does smell like dog food.
It's Cheerios. I'm like, it
smells like dog food.
Cheerios.
It's just Buzz. It's Buzz.
Yeah.
He's having dinner.
It's an odd night here tonight.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on here, so it's a strange night here at the AfterBuzz.
I'm not having a hot flash anymore. Thank you for turning on the air.
Feels good.
AfterBuzz vibes.
Thank you, Marissa. She's giving a thumbs up in the booth.
Love you, Marissa. Thank you.
But all right, so if none of the couples are true, could maybe Tony and Blakely?
I feel like there are a couple couples in there that are, for real. I think that Tony and Blakely clearly have chemistry. She said that she likes him, and he clearly likes her. And then I feel like Kaylin and Lindsay, I mean, it seems like they've developed something. I don't know whether it's a showmance or a real relationship, but it seems more solid than Ed and Jacqueline or Chris and Sarah. And
I give Lindsay and Kaylin about 6 months.
Yep.
I think Blakely and Tony could be the real deal.
Yep.
And the reason why is because she's a super strong personality. She uses her body to get what she wants. She's not stupid. And she needs someone to rein her in and ground her. And I think that Tony can not only do that, but he can do it in a way that she doesn't feel threatened. And I think that Tony is going to treat her like a goddess. Like, I'm not saying that she's out of his league by any way, but I am saying that he's probably never dated a girl like Blakely before. And she is going to give him a run for his money, and he's going to treat her like a queen. And I can see them lasting.
Well, you saw it already. He had that little date planned out for her.
Yeah.
Super cute.
And wait, Blakely with the baby talk.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
oh my gosh.
I don't know, but I don't know why girls do that, because I feel like every guy I know complains about that whole baby voice. It's like the Kim Kardashian nightmare. She does the same thing. Like, I don't understand the baby voice.
I don't think Tony's going to complain that much, but I think that Blakely is going to transfer her strength to him when they're in a relationship. Like, I think that's, if she lets her guard down, I think it's going to give him more of a chance to be more manly and kind of take her strength with him.
Well-
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, because he's definitely stepped up and been more manly with her. Like he's been a man with her. Like he hasn't sat back and been the pushover that we've seen on Emily's season in the past. Like he's really manned up for her and just show her who he was. Which I mean,
Blakely even said it.
Yeah, what girl doesn't want that?
Blakely needs a good guy. I mean, she said in the past she was hurt in relationships, and she dated Wes for a while, right? They had something.
If she dated
Awful
Wes, then
guy.
she's just an idiot, and that's why she got hurt.
Wait,
I mean, come
really?
on.
That's the rumor going around the blogs that she dated Wes.
I didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, which was kind of funny because they played a song last week
On their date.
on their date.
You know what? Like, I don't understand girls that are gonna date a guy like Wes and think that they're gonna change him. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Is he like the guitar
he's
guy?
that-
Oh,
Every
yeah,
girl wants a guy that they, not that they want a guy that they can change. Girls think that they're good enough to change a guy. They want that validation that they're good enough to have some guy want to change for them.
But there's such a thing, and thank you, Tim McGraw, for writing a song about it. But you can be a bad boy and be a good man.
Yeah.
And these you can. And there's these people, Wes. They're not good men. They're just idiots.
Yeah. So do you think Blakely is could try to change Tony to toughen him up a little bit from what we see? Who knows? Because maybe we're just getting one side of Tony.
No, I think that she's going to be so completely refreshed by somebody who's just a man, and she's going to see that she doesn't have to go after that bad boy because clearly it hasn't worked for her in the past. And I think that she's going to see that he's a man, he's a dad, he has his head on his shoulders, and she's going to be a princess. Like I'm totally rooting for them to work.
Me too.
That's someone you can settle down with.
It is. That's marriage guy.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's too early. It's Bachelor. It's week 6. Who knows? But okay. Any other showmances? So let's see. Chris and Sarah. Showmance, bromance.
Showmance.
Jacqueline, Ed.
If even a showman.
It's not even a show.
Nada.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Romance, showmance.
Jacqueline wants it to be a romance, and Ed is like,
Just having
I
fun.
don't want anything.
But you
I
know
think
what?
it's a no-mance.
You also
No man's.
See what I did there?
you have to really respect Ed because he's been nothing but honest.
Yeah.
Like
Thank you, Marissa.
and
he's
that,
been honest.
that
I
is
mean,
why I feel like America loves him, or a lot of people think that he's a drunken mess, but I love him. I think that he's amazing. He's been honest this entire time, whether he's hooking up with a girl, whether he's, casting his vote, he's honest with everyone, and he's very loyal. And while he doesn't want a relationship with Jacqueline, he's been loyal to her this entire game.
Yeah, and it's refreshing.
I'm
Like,
still
he's
saying
refreshing.
it'd be the funniest Bachelor. Ed as the Bachelor.
I also,
It'd be like Funny or Die.
No, they need to do an entire episode. ABC producers, please listen, because everyone was tweeting it tonight. You need to do one entire hour episode of Ed bloopers,
Yes.
because every blooper with Ed is amazing. So please make that happen, even if you put it on the website.
You'd kill it in the ratings.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, brilliant.
It would help the ratings for the show because it's they could be better this season. So we need Ed
More
burning
Ed.
more oven mitts. and-
Oven mitt.
Yes, goodbye the oven mitt.
When you burn that oven mitt, oh my gosh.
I didn't know you were trying to preserve oven mitts there, Kathy.
Yeah.
I will say that at the end of the nights in the Bachelor Pad, when everyone has had a lot to drink, you will always see very interesting things happen, like oven mitts.
Well,
So-
if there's
Care
a
to
lot of
elaborate?
It's just that, like, that was, I didn't even get shocked when I saw that. It was like, we had knives showing up places that they weren't supposed to be in. We had clothes. We had a sleepwalker. Somebody used to take Ambien because they couldn't sleep, and they'd wake up and
Wait,
like
who?
go in the kitchen and start eating
is
things and like go in the
scary.
pool. Like, it was scary. Like, it just happens. So
Was that you?
no. And then somebody used to sleep on the couch and then talk and sing in their sleep. Like, yeah.
The Bachelor Pad ghost.
I'm telling you, it's not normal things happen at night in the Bachelor Pad.
Well, because you don't get television, you don't get phone
You go
calls.
crazy.
Yeah, what else is there to do other than drink and just be silly?
You said no telephone, yet why did Rachel get a telephone tonight?
Yep.
Because she was gonna leave.
I think
and
she
didn't talk
threatened to leave.
Michael.
Yeah, I agree. I think she threatened to leave and said, "If you let me talk to him, I'll stay." And it also made a great storyline for letting him, because now Nick doesn't trust her. It's her partner. Like, it just sets up a great story.
And you brought up Nick. What did we think? Nick, who
is he?
this guy?
Where?
Whoa.
Where did he come from? What season was he on?
He was on Allie's, right? Wait.
None of us even know.
Emily?
No, he was on Ashley.
Ashley. He
H.
was on Ashley. Yeah.
He was Ashley H. He had like a long hair. He had like a mullet, like a big, like a mullet.
A what?
Sorry,
Is that like spumoni?
No, spamullet's like when a Spanish man and a mullet collide. I call it a spamullet, and I know he's not even.
I didn't know he was Spanish.
I didn't know either. It just came to my mind. Sorry,
Okay.
God.
I don't know, but he needs to take off that weird black tank top that like goes inwards.
That all
Doesn't
the guys
make any
wear.
sense.
Ryan wore it on
Weird.
last
It's
season.
Weird.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be the Bachelor Pad after show. You guys should be like the fashion police, because I swear
Well-
every week I hear you guys talking about their tank
We
tops.
could do that.
I mean, let's just say that some of the people on Bachelor Pad don't really know how to dress for their body types. We can just say that.
Maybe
quite a
maybe
few
you
of
guys
them.
can offer a solution. Maybe y'all can
Maybe
dress
we
up
should
the
do a
Bachelor
special
guys.
segment on fashion.
Yeah.
Possessionista, where are you? Dana, we need you.
Next week we could do that. We'll offer
have her call in.
alternatives. So what do you guys think about now Nick coming out of nowhere? Is he a silent assassin? Who is this guy? Because he said something interesting at the very end of the episode, that he is just in it to win it. And you just see him
Working.
Lay low, act like you're not a threat, and you get far.
But no, floaters, they usually get cut off halfway
Well,
through the season.
No, I feel like the floaters, like the people that they think they can eliminate very fast, go in the first couple episodes. And then they try to eliminate the power couples. And that's how it goes for the rest of the season. That's how it's been this season. They didn't really get rid of all the power couples, but I mean,
Nick wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Rachel.
Exactly.
There's no way that they would have kept him if Rachel didn't need a partner, and the girls are going to stick up for Rachel, and so they're going to be one of the last couples to get sent home if Jackie and Blakely have anything to do with it at this point.
they also, I mean, it doesn't seem like they're a threat. I feel like the other couples probably don't view them as a threat, because Rachel seems kind of unstable right now since she's so, head over heels with Michael and he's not there. And then
Everybody just
they don't
forgets
have,
about Nick.
I mean, if the next challenge were something that's like, couple related, I think in past seasons it's been how much you know about the other person. And in one or I don't remember, maybe. But I feel like they aren't that strong of a couple, and the other couples know more about each other, and they have a stronger...
So they
Right,
bite
and
him in the
here's
butt.
the thing, and I know they did it in one, and I think they promoted it tonight, that a couple, whoever is the final two couple, whoever wins, gets to choose who their other couple that they go to
Right.
final two is. Let me tell you, I would want to pick Nick and Rachel, because my thought process is Nick doesn't deserve to be there. He hasn't done anything to show. Rachel's only there because people felt bad for her. So my thought process would be, I want them to come to the finale with me because I played a better game, and
Yep.
the people in my house are going to appreciate I played a better game.
It's like a survivor move, yeah.
Right. So
It's how
I
you play
would
the
want
game.
to take the weakest couple with me.
Yeah. We'll see, because he's using intimidation now. He was trying to intimidate Tony.
That was bizarre. That was out of character for him. I
Yeah.
don't know what. That
Well, we don't
deal
even
was.
know
We
his
don't know what his
character.
character
I know,
is.
but I mean, so far, his character that he's been putting on, or the lack of
We
character.
haven't even seen. I don't even feel like I remember seeing him in episode 1 through 3.
He had
He was hiding
Like-
under the covers.
a couple weeks ago, he had a really funny tweet that was, I believe he said, this week on Bachelor Pad 3, the Teltos twins come back and I get some airtime.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
He's like, just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, did he go just kidding at the end?
But those are the people you have to be careful of.
And see, that's what I was surprised about, is that he made his presence be known, but it seemed like Kaylin and Lindsay took a step back. And I think, was it you that talked about in the beginning that Kaylin is this villain? He's always the mastermind, the Sebastian from Cruel Intentions, but it kind of seemed like it fell on deaf ears today. Everything, his campaigning, his moves.
Well,
There's only been one episode, where I think he's been efficient, and that was the one episode where he was a villain,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the time he's been just neutral.
I was going to say, at the end of Cruel Intentions, Sebastian becomes this good guy who
Yeah.
falls in love.
Yeah.
So maybe it is.
Cruel Intentions.
Oh, no.
You guys really buy it?
Oh, no. Because now it's
He's
leading
going to
me-
get hit by a car?
But he
No, I
gets-
hope not.
No, but it's probably what you're going to... Go ahead.
I just don't
he's following
buy
a script.
it.
He's following a script.
Like,
then.
I just don't buy it. I don't buy that he's all of a sudden like, he has said some really mean-hearted things where his intention was to hurt someone. So I feel like I don't buy it. Like, I just don't buy it. I don't see what Lindsay sees in him other than he's handsome and has a ton of money. I don't see what she sees in him. I also don't think that she belongs to be there. So I was tweeting literally at the beginning of the episode, I'm ready for them to go home, Snorfest. Like, I just don't, they haven't really done anything.
So in a way, maybe it should be like Nick and Lindsay. Because they're the ones that really haven't done anything this whole season.
Right.
You
They've
know?
just coasted.
Yeah. So were you guys surprised? Let's move on to the eliminations quickly. What were you gonna say?
I was just going to say that in earlier episodes, Kaylin and Lindsay they were the orchestrators of who got voted off. Like, Kaylin said that he's like, I would plant a seed in Lindsay's head and it would blossom and then someone would
Which
get
is
kicked
not
off.
something you say about someone you love, by the way. I will plant a seed in her head. I will make her my puppet.
Yes.
I will water it. It will grow.
I'm gonna
on.
manipulate her into
He
my
is a
love.
master manipulator.
Yeah.
So,
So that was it.
Sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No.
sorry, Kathy.
True.
He almost spit his water out there, so I had to say something. We're having a rough night at AfterBuzz tonight, kids. Rough night.
No, it's just I think we expect. Okay, we're all in agreement. We expected a little more action on tonight's episode. So hopefully next week they pick it up and. You know, Kaylin and Lindsay, hasta la bye-bye. But, okay, and even the move at the end. Come on. It was from last season.
Ames.
That was
Ames and Jackie.
strategic.
Which didn't work.
Because they ended up breaking up like a month later.
Right. So,
And
I
he
mean,
was rude about it, apparently.
Yeah.
I
Ames
thought it
wasn't
was
very nice
interesting. Not that I think all women are super emotional, but a lot of them are. But when Lindsay got in the limo when she was by herself, she wasn't like.
Sorry.
She wasn't upset. She wasn't
Right.
Like Lindsay was not upset when
She
she,
was
got in
also
the limo.
drunk.
She knew
She was just like, I don't want to leave without him. But
She was drunk.
she knew that she was gonna get in the limo and they were gonna drive to the hotel and then they'd see each other at the hotel. So that's why she's not upset. She knew that they were a couple, so she
Right.
thought that they were going to, hang out after Bachelor Pad. She wasn't upset because they were in separate limos. Like, they're gonna see each other in an hour.
I also feel like Lindsay she was on whose season? Ben's.
Ben's.
I only watched the beginning of that season, but I feel like when she was on, she was this like sweet, innocent thing, and I feel like on Bachelor Pad, she's been drunk the whole time. Like maybe she wasn't drunk, maybe she was, but I mean, it was literally like watching her. Sometimes she just looked like wasted, or Kaylin's drugging her. Maybe he's
Oh my
drugging
God,
her.
dude! I immediately strike that from the record of everyone what Chrissy just said.
She's
But, I
really
mean, it's not even the same person.
She's really bad at eye contact. That drives me nuts. Every time she talks, she looks down at the floor, and I don't appreciate
I
it.
would say that she's the exact same person because on Ben's season, she was falling for a guy and she did anything for that guy. And on Bachelor Pad, she's falling for a guy and she would do anything for that guy.
So you're saying, yeah, okay, like Jacqueline and Lindsay, kind of similar paths, like bowing to men.
She didn't seem this like loose about it. I don't know if that's the right word.
she's definitely, it seems like she's partying more or something. Like, she doesn't have her head on straight.
No, she seems
but
like she's drugged.
I feel like, I don't know. She's more comfortable with him, so she
Yeah.
may be letting loose.
Well, remember, now Bachelor and Bachelor Pad are two completely different animals.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So in Bachelor season, they're making her out to be the princess who rode in the horse.
And it's for love. It's
Right.
all about love and finding your husband. Bachelor Pad is not about finding your husband, even though she's found this guy that she likes. That's not the vibe of the game, nor is it the environment.
Worked out for two couples in past seasons.
But it's not the environment. It's not, and I think that Lindsay is a product of her environment. I think she's made that very clear that she is very manipulatable.
I agree.
She's very pliable, and so whatever environment she's in, if they want her to be the princess and they want her to be the good girl and find her husband, she's going to do that. If they want her to have a couple glasses of champagne and have this bad boy boyfriend, she's going to do that. Like,
Last question before we move into news and gossip. What is more honest, do you think, in the portrayal of our Bachelor contestants, Bachelor or Bachelor Pad?
ooh, that's tough.
Well, Bachelor Pad in the sense that the relationships that do work outside of the house are more organic because you're not competing with 20 other people. So I would say that it's tough because I have such a hard time watching the relationships flourish on Bachelor Pad because I lived it and I know how fake most of them are. And I know that it's for the show and for the money and you want people to think that you're this couple so that you can win and all that BS. But I know that the relationships that have worked outside of Bachelor Pad, I mean, Holly and Blake are doing amazing.
And Kipton,
Tinley
and Kipton. I messed it up.
I
was
do
like,
it all the time.
Chris
Tinley and Kipton are still working. You know what I mean? Like Chris and Peyton did not meet on Bachelor Pad though. They met at an event.
At an event, okay.
Yeah, they didn't meet on Pad. Chris wasn't on our season.
Yeah.
But those relationships are genuine relationships, and they were able to get it organic through the house because there was no threat.
Not I don't mean necessarily in a relationship sense, just as the person, as the individual, who what is a more honest telling of each contestant, Bachelor or Bachelor Pad?
It's hard because, you know, while you do see them a lot more in Bachelor Pad, I feel like it's not their true selves because they are competing.
Okay.
So you'd see their true personalities if they were competing for something in, you know, the real world that was cutthroat. But I feel like, you know, on Bachelorette, you also have those people who are trying to portray themselves in a better light so that they win the contestant or whatever.
Yeah, and it really is all in your edit. You know what I mean? Michelle Money was a perfect case of somebody that was hated on Bachelor and loved on Bachelor Pad. But you know, it's really getting to know the person and their personality, and I don't think that you can really do that genuinely through the show. And that's one of my biggest qualms on Twitter with a lot of the fans that get mad at me when I stick up for people or unfollow me because I talk about somebody that's my friend. And I think what people forget is that they're on a show, it's edited, it's a game or for love, and when you get to know the real person outside of the situation, often they're either exactly like or they were just portraying something. So it's a good question.
On your show, I mean, when you were on Bachelor Pad, people like America thought that you were like a bitch or whatever, and
I am.
We like you. I mean, I feel like you just
know what I mean?
Tell the truth or like speak your mind, like you're honest and you're. But
I am. I can be a little bit abrasive and I can be tough, but my intentions are never bad.
Yeah.
And I have a big heart when I let you in. But you know, when I let you in,
She's soft like a Brillo pad. All right, folks. So leaves us something to ponder. Chat roll, iTunes guys. Let us know what you think. So with that said, let's move on to some newsy, gossipy stuff. Cathy, what you got for us?
Well, the Bachelor for next season has not been announced yet, and we don't know when it's going to be. But some other news. There's been a lot of controversy this last week over Emily and Jeff. They were on the cover of Us Weekly, which we have here, talking about how Emily was caught in this cheating scandal. And
cheater, pumpkin eater.
yeah, it said that Emily and Jeff went on a vacation with his whole family, and Jeff caught Emily texting some guy explicit texts. And then, after this story broke, Jeff and Emily both came out and said that it's completely 100% false, that his brother fabricated this entire story. He didn't sell it to magazines, but he just wanted to get his name in the papers.
They said it was possibly like they were accusing it could be Matt Leinart, who's a quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. Yeah, that's who's been known.
But I also feel like she knows him and she's been friends with him for a while.
Okay.
I feel like I could be completely 100% wrong on that, but I feel like she may know him because I feel like she definitely has some friends in the NFL. I want to say this because I have non-stopped reading about this, and I feel like as Bachelor Nation, we watch these shows every season and all we want is this amazing love story. And then we are so quick to jump on the I hate them bandwagon because there was a story that they may have cheated. I think that we set these couples up to fail sometimes by feeding into the tabloids and the media, and I think that we do that everywhere. But I think that what people tend to forget is that Emily and Jeff are two people that are now in the real world trying to make this relationship work. That was this romantic whirlwind of unrealness. And now they're trying to make it work in everyday life. And they have feelings and it hurts. And I know that the one thing that I did say to Emily and that Emily did say to me before she was going to be Bachelorette was that her biggest concern was all of this because it hurts so much for strangers to just be in and deal with. And yes, she kind of asked for it, but at the same token, like, I think we need to start remembering that they are real people. And as much as we can sit and judge and laugh when they say stupid stuff, like, this is their real life now. And I would like to see people stop. I know it's not going to happen, but I mean, she has a heart and so does he, and I just feel bad. Like, at this point, I just feel bad and want people to leave them alone a little bit.
I don't think that she's, at least I don't think that she's, stupid enough to do something very drastic to make America hate her. You know what I mean? I think she's America's sweetheart. Everybody loves her. Why would she do something when she wants a career in entertainment? I don't know why she would do something that would hurt the chances of her fan base loving her.
I don't think it has anything to do with. I don't think she'd ever do that to him.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like,
I'm just saying the other side of it is that the risk is too high.
We have to realize that tabloids make money by selling, these magazines, and
That you bought.
and having. I can't argue that.
It's
But I
research.
mean,
It is.
it's for the show. I wouldn't have bought it had they not been on the cover, and that's exactly what it is. If they hadn't been on the cover with this story, I would not have bought this tabloid.
Right.
And that's how they make money. So either they fabricate stories or they go off of, someone who could be lying. And, I hope that this story is false. It seems as though, they're still together, obviously, because Jeff's been Instagramming pictures of, him being soccer dad and taking Ricky to, carpooling all the kids wherever at Ricky's 7-year checkup at the doctor's office. So, I mean, they're obviously still together.
7-year checkup? What is that, like a Southern thing?
No, you have your yearly checkup.
get,
and
like,
she's
shots
7,
for
so-
school.
I thought she went every 7 years. Sorry, I thought it was,
And
okay.
I will tell you that unfortunately, and I've seen it on such a smaller scale, in this crazy Bachelor world, people sell stories. They pretend they know you, they don't know you, they tell lies. I had a story try to be sold about me, and it was really detrimental to me, and like, I was really hurt by it, and it was something that I was not ready to do or talk about. So it is something that happens, and people do lie, and it sucks. So I just want people to remember that Emily's a person, and so is Jeff, and they're dealing with whatever they're dealing with. Whether it's true or false is none of our business, basically. But if we want them to work, then we need to support them.
I'm sure the media spotlight's
Yeah,
on them, and
yeah.
we'll find out soon enough whether it's true or
Yeah,
not.
I mean, they're still together. so.
Anything else you got for us this week?
That is all for news.
That's a
and
pretty big
gossip.
story.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, now time for predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
What are we predicting today?
I don't know. What do you guys think
Oh,
you'll
that's
see
right.
next
'cause
week?
2 go home next week.
Yes.
Is it
I
2?
forgot to mention, the Bachelor Pad 3 taping was yesterday.
Right.
And JC, Canden, and I actually got to go to it.
We did?
So
I
we
wasn't
we have to
allowed.
abstain from our predictions. We didn't stay until the end, so we don't know who wins. But we can't really talk about
But
who
we
goes
do know
home.
lots of
As the
goodies.
weeks come, all we can tell you is to sit back, put in your seatbelt, buckle up, because it's going to be great.
Yes.
Honestly, there are a lot of twists and turns. It's going to be
It's
fantastic.
crazy.
I did not go, so my prediction is because I know that you were just going to skip right over that. I was not invited because I was cast, and they were afraid I would open my big.
Oh, really? Wow, way to drop. I was cast.
I mean,
Really?
I'm just saying. So whatever. You guys are going to be way more important than me in the finale, and I'm totally okay with that. But I am going to predict that Chris and Sarah are absolutely one of the final 2 couples, and I have no freaking clue who they're with. And I'm really excited to see how it all plays out. But I would, it's tough because I like Chris and I like Sarah very, very, very much, and I want them to win, but I only want one person to win this season. And I've said that every season, and I said at the beginning of our season this year, I want to, this game is about the ultimate lie and betrayal, so somebody do it.
Yeah.
All
I think
right.
that'd be cool.
All right, so do you have a prediction?
I was going to say I predict lots of guy liner in the next episode because it looked like
I
some
saw
of the
that.
guys
Guy
had some makeup going on.
All right, so that does it for all the rock stars. Candy, well, do you have a prediction or anything for next week?
Nope.
Please, all right,
They
guys.
signed contracts.
My opinion tonight is not worth $5 million.
It's really good. It's going to be a good
So
finale.
tune in next week for sure, guys. So that's the hook. Hey, so for Marissa, wait, okay, fine.
Twitter handles?
Oh, really, Miss?
Did you want to say goodbye, or could we say goodbye first?
Go ahead. Hey, why don't you take us out, Canden?
Fine, I will.
Go ahead.
You guys can find me at Canden Bliss, and you can find us all at AfterBuzz TV. Everybody else, where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me at The Everyday Man.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley.
You can find me at Krisily and follow my blog.
Do
And
it.
you guys comment on iTunes. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll be back next week for an exciting episode of Bachelor Pad 3. Good night.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.